We're live. Good evening, everybody. I can't believe how dark it is outside. It's 7 o'clock. My desk is in front of the window and it's pitch black. So how the evenings have changed. So welcome again to the Not So Secret Writers Club. If you're listening on the podcast on Right Mind, hello. You don't get to see our beautiful faces, but you do get to hear our voices. So you're very, very lucky. And if you're on Facebook and you come and join us, please say hi. Please drop your comments and questions in the comments box. We'd love to answer them, and we love for you to get involved. So really nice to welcome you all this evening, and thank you for joining us. So I'm Karen Stanley, and tonight we're going to there's Jackie. Hello, Jackie's just pinged on with an Jackie loves an emoji. There's always an emoji with Jackie. I love it. So this evening we're going to talk to the gorgeous Fiona Shoults. And Fiona Shoults joined my and Fiona Shoults has got a nice glass of red wine. I'm feeling quite jealous because I haven't got any. I've got Rubicon. It's not quite the same, is it? I forgot to pour the wine before we started. She's got bottle. Is it water?
Yeah.
You're usually on the water because you've drunk too much vodka, Joanna, isn't it? That's usually the case.
Not this week. I'm on the water because I am keeping a clear mind.
Oh, okay. Well, we'll see how that goes.
Yeah.
So the lovely Fiona joined my Rite of Passage Growth Academy after we met on, lovely, Linda and Fraser here to support Figgy. Oh, that's nice. Your friends are all popping on, Fiona. That's lovely. Hi, Linda and Fraser. So Fiona joined my writing academy, and we met through ZC Social Media Growth Academy. We both joined to try and up our game in the old social media stakes. We're still on quite a steep learning. I think that's been harder than writing a book, Fiona, hasn't it? Really?
Yep.
Yeah. And I have to say, I just adore Fiona. Fiona's a beautiful person inside and out, and she is a huge champion of others, which I absolutely love about. She's one of these people who always builds other people up, and I think that's a gorgeous quality. But the funniest thing is, when I try to entice people into my write, come on, you want to write a book, come and do it. Let's see what could possibly go wrong. Fiona later confessed that she only joined the group because she wanted to have a little chat.
It was lockdown. It was
So
you enticed us with wine and wisdom, and that was it, really.
Yeah. Well, there was no wisdom. Sorry, you pretty much found
that
out.
Lots, Karen.
Yeah. So Fiona joined the group because she was a bit bored in lockdown. She was feeling a bit lonely. She wasn't getting out of the house. She's like, hey, this will be fun. I'm going to go along and have a little bit of a giggle and a laugh each week. And we did lots of learning, and I put lots of lovely webinars in about technicalities of writing and how to do this, that, and the other. And then on about week 12, I said, right, come on then. Now we're going to plan and write our stories. At which point, Fiona started to panic because Fiona hadn't completely intended on writing a book. She'd sort of joined in to see what happened, and then thought, I'm actually going to have to write something. And it's massive hats off to Fiona that she started off in a group where she just wanted to drink wine and chat, and has now actually written that book. So lovely Fiona. She's been an amazing part of the group. So Fiona, do you want to tell us all what your book's about and what your inspiration for it was?
Well, Linda's probably met Croc, actually. I bought my husband a little crocodile years ago. I think I was going off to China somewhere, I don't know, China or India or somewhere.
I do.
And, yeah, as you do. So I bought him this crocodile to keep him company while I was away. And he's just travelled everywhere with us. He's been to St. Lucia and Mexico and Peru. He's got lots of little outfits, and he's sort of, he was naked for about 2 years. But he's got quite a few outfits.
This is a family show, Fiona.
I'm sorry. But my friend makes dresses and kids' dresses and stuff, and he's made him little suits and beach outfits, and he's flown a plane. He's been on the Virgin plane in the cockpit, and
very well-travelled crocodile.
Yeah, he's been all over. So yeah, he's got his own Facebook page, and he's a bit of a lad, really. However, I thought I'd start with a children's book, so I scaled him right back to where we came out of his egg. So he's got room to grow.
Yeah, there may be an adult version later.
Well, this book literally just takes him to a few months, really. So his little journey from when he cracks to
how he arrives on the planet. So we took out the smoking and the drinking lager and the raucous
Foul
like
language.
that with loose women and all that kind of stuff.
He's never been down that path, actually.
Has he not? Has it all? more in store for Croc.
Yes,
So,
I think he has to grow with my audience.
yes, maybe. And the wonderful thing about your story, Fiona, is that it's for children, isn't it? It's called Croc Tales, and it's a lovely story of a little crocodile who cracks out of his egg, and he's a bit sad and lonely, and he has to find his way, doesn't he? Because his mum's not very nice; she doesn't really want him, so he has to find his own new family. Bit of a sad tale, but it's written in rhyme, isn't it?
It is. I'm not quite sure how I did that, but it is.
Did you intend to write it in rhyme?
Not initially. But
Okay.
it kind of, it just started. I think I've been reading Little Lady, her stories, and I thought, actually, this might be better.
Yeah. And isn't it funny? I don't know about you, and me and Joanna have talked about this quite a lot. When I have to have a title before I've got a story, and then once I get the title, that sort of dictates how the story goes. And it's really weird, isn't it? Once you start setting things in motion, the story can take shape almost without you really having much control, I think.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Oh, there's my auntie.
Hello, Auntie Marion. Is that Auntie Marion's? Come to say hi, Fee. And Jackie's now going to be following Croc's. What's his Facebook page called, Fiona?
I think it's just Croc O'Dial.
Oh, Croc O'Dial. Brilliant.
However, his manager and PA, if Croc hasn't met you, he won't accept you. so we might have to, I might have to have a word with his PA. I couldn't find him tonight. I think he's gone out drinking.
I see.
Lemonade, obviously.
Good for him. I wish I'd gone out drinking.
I couldn't find him anywhere.
Oh, bless him. He's hiding. He's got stage fright. He didn't want to. He didn't want to be part of the Facebook and YouTube extravaganza, because we're going out Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube tonight.
Oh, don't scare me, Karen.
I know. Are we?
Oh, you found him. There's Croc.
Oh, Fiona's found him on his Facebook page, having a cup of tea. Bless his heart. Wonderful. That's so nice. Yeah, so we're going out on several platforms tonight. My eldest grandson kindly showed me how you can stream live to YouTube. Apparently, all you need to do is verify your phone number. If only I'd known it was that easy. I've been waiting years. Easy. I know, but you can always rely on a 13-year-old to give you the lowdown on what to do technologically. So this, and do you know what made me quite laugh about you, Fiona, was you were the one who started with not really an idea of what you were going to write, not really an idea of whether you were going to write, and you were the first to finish. Weren't you?
I didn't get it finished because Bev's already got hers in, hasn't she? But I wrote it.
But you were the first to finish your text, weren't you? Yeah. We were like, how's she managed that? She wasn't even going to write a book 4 weeks ago.
I just got in the rhythm with it, really. Once I decided it was in rhyme, I just had to keep going. So.
Yeah. And that's what I love about rhyme. I write quite a lot of rhyme and children's books, that kind of thing. I find because of its very nature, it jogs along quite nicely, doesn't it? Once you get in that zone. It's such a lovely story, Joanna. It's really cute. And the lovely thing is Fiona's, is it your stepdad, father-in-law?
Father-in-law, yeah.
Father-in-law. He has helped with the illustrations, hasn't he?
Yeah.
Which is just very, very cute. So it'd be nice.
Very well.
He's done a lovely job, and I love about them. They're almost a little bit childlike in a beautiful way.
Here, actually,
she's going to give you a sneak. Are you ready to give a sneak preview?
Maybe
people might have to pay for this kind of.
Yeah, maybe
front row seats. You've got to have a,
Oh, look, there you go.
There's all the little crocs. Oh, come on that way. Yeah, that's it. There's all the little croc faces peering in at the egg just before it's about to
it's
crack.
Very simple. The illustration is very simple.
Yeah, I like that though. Less is more sometimes, I think, isn't it?
Yeah.
And you've boosted some of the illustrations, haven't you, with some sort of cartoony bits of your own. She's done a great job, actually, considering you've never done that before.
It's been a learning curve, definitely.
Yeah.
So, there's a few other bits that I've put in there to sort of go with the line drawings.
Yeah. And how do you feel now you're ready to you're publishing your first book? That's quite
excited, but I need to get it actually over to the publisher. At the moment, I'm feeling a bit tense. If you could talk a bit quicker so I could get on with it.
You need to crack the whip. You need to get on, love.
Something like that.
Yeah. I think, do you know what? In the academy, we'd done all the learning, and we'd started off with our books, and we'd done some planning, and then I gave each of them a week because we met every week, and each of them had a week to talk about their book. And I said to Fiona, right, your next week, you could see her physically go, oh God. And I think she wrote more in that week than she had done the rest of the whole time.
I did most of it, didn't I?
Yeah. So there's nothing like a bit of pressure to get you going, is there really? So
Definitely right.
yeah. So, do you write poetry, Joanna?
No.
No.
No, I don't.
No.
Answer to that one. Yeah, I don't. It's not something I've ever been drawn to doing, or
Maybe you could do saucy poetry.
Oh, saucy poetry, yeah.
Yeah, I could do that. I could think of a few. Mind you, they're probably all flashbacks from songs that I used to sing on drinking holidays and things.
Yeah. We won't go down that road. It's still only 7:15, and we don't know who's
No.
So Fiona, how are you going to get it published? Who are you publishing through, Fiona?
Well, Linda, I am publishing my book through a publishing house, quite a new one, but very good, I hear, called Mabel and Stanley. Yeah. It might have something to do with Karen Stanley and her dog Mabel. But I'm not sure how much Mabel's involved.
Yeah, she's of no use, actually. I think she's going to get the sack because she basically does nothing apart from dribble on things and demand cuddles. So she's a very useless member of staff. But
seriously, Linda, I'll be doing it through Karen. And so if you've got that budding book there, so I know you've got lots of stories.
That would be amazing. Yeah,
she would drag that story out of you.
I'll drag it out, girl.
Literally.
I am like the proverbial dog with the bone once I get going. When I started writing, me and Joanna have had chats about publishing quite a lot. I self-published. I got duped by a vanity publisher. I got traditionally published twice. I tried every which way, a whole smorgasbord of publishing, and then I settled on this fabulous lady who she ran what we call a hybrid publishing company. So she helped you to self-publish under her publishing house logo. So you had the help and support of a publishing house, but you still retained all the rights, the copyright, and more importantly, the royalties of your book. She was like my angel, heaven sent. She helped me out so much. And she's gone on to do loads of wonderful stuff. Jo Bartlett, she's brilliant. And she doesn't do it anymore because she does so much wonderful stuff, and she also writes a lot herself. And so she wasn't going to do it anymore. And I thought, you know what, I can do that in a moment. And actually, it's been brilliant, because what's lovely now is I feel like I can give the whole package. And I sort of wanted to be. I want to be the person I really needed when I started. Because I didn't know who to ask, I didn't know what to do, I didn't know where to go, I didn't know how it worked, I didn't know what it should cost, and people told me it should cost a lot more than it actually should. So I think I'm really pleased and quite proud that I'm now able to say to people, look, come on, I'll help you, and I won't give you dodgy advice or fleece you. I think that was so that's been really. But we've all sort of learnt and grown together, haven't we, Fiona? Really?
Yeah, it's been a real learning curve for all of us.
Yeah, and
lots of laughter and lots of tears.
Oh my, yeah, we've had a few sessions where we've all cried at certain stuff, live stuff and bits that people have written. We've had lots of sessions where we've laughed a lot, and there's been a sort of it feels like thank you, Fraser. He said that's lovely. It feels like this group was meant to be, because Bev is one of the members, and I apparently went to the same school as her, although she's a couple of years older than me. Fiona was a waitress. We're talking years ago. Yeah, a waitress when I met her. I pulled her up and let her down and something or other. And she worked in a restaurant, and I lived in a flat above the restaurant, and I'm pretty sure it was about the same time. So we would have passed. We used to eat in the restaurant sometimes. So that's how long ago's that? That was that was before my son. That was before my son was born. Yeah, and he's 28. So that tells you how old that was. And Jane is then a friend of Beverly's. Sandra is the Pilates teacher of one of my best friends. So we all came together. And there was this whole serendipity. It's just been really bizarre, and I feel like
you had another lady as well, didn't you? And I used to work with her. So
Who's
She's
that?
friends with my friend's husband. And
Oh,
Brady,
okay.
beautiful
Oh,
Brady.
Bridie, yeah. I mean, it's just been a really beautiful experience. It's been a really fulfilling experience. I'm so proud of you all. I just think you've done absolutely amazingly well, and we've had some really deep connections that we wouldn't have had otherwise. Would you say that's true?
Yeah, no, it's been lovely.
Yeah, I feel like I've known Fiona forever, actually, and she's fabulous. When I'm having one of my days, I have a lot of headless chicken days because that's just how my mind works. So she's great for me to phone up and go, Fiona, while I'm having a little mini breakdown. And she's like the voice of reason. Nice,
I'll just
calm
put you on
voice.
silent, Karen. Really.
Yeah. There's a lot of people in my life who wish they could put me on silent. But no, it's been, and actually, what I've loved about it is because you're all really lovely people, you've all really supported each other and boosted each other. And you know, when there's been times when you haven't had much inspiration, someone else has gone, oh, why don't you try that? And we've read each other. So it's been quite magical, really. It's been lovely. It's been lovely.
I've loved it.
Have you? Good.
Good. It's been really good.
And then
Especially going through the last year.
party.
It's been... Sorry, Joanna?
You've got the book launch party, haven't you? And I mean,
Yeah.
I know it's your countdown to your party.
I know. There's lots going on. So we decided, in our wisdom, that all 5 ladies would come to publication at once. What could possibly go wrong? I was like, yeah, that would be fine. Not thinking that I'd have to proofread and edit 5 books in a week. You know, that's what could go wrong. So we sort of, and our deadline was like the end of July, and then you know what these things, you know, Joanna, don't you? Then it got moved to the end of August, and then I was saying, right, girls, I need it now because otherwise it's not going to happen for Christmas. So we're all coming to publication at the same time. So it's slightly bordering on manic at the moment. And then I said, well, we can't do this without a big fuss. We need a big, this is quite a big deal. We need a celebration. We need some gin or some vodka or some champagne or something to go with this occasion. And we need, and all of the above. So we're going to have a build up to that. So it's been really exciting, actually. We've got this 8-week campaign, and each of the authors, so Fiona was this week, she's had posts go out every day about how she joined the group and what she does, and I'll get her to tell you a little bit about what she does, because what she does is very inspirational too, and her writing journey culminated on the Friday with the Not So Secret. We all do our little interview, and then on the 27th of November we've secured the lovely Store 104, which is a gorgeous artisan bookshop in Rochester. They're happy to host a big author event. So all the authors are going to be there reading bits from their books. We've got kids' activities. They do really nice brownies in the shop downstairs. So I'm banking on a brownie. And we're going to do some meditation. And Sandra's going to do some sort of Pilates type meditation. I'm going to do some an introduction to journaling and some mindfulness. It's going to be a whole celebratory day. And then on the 3rd of December, on the Friday, we're going to be hosting a little party for the authors, for family and friends, at Dragon Co-working. And we'll also be pulling the winners of because we've got a raffle and that kind of thing. And the lovely Roland Stanley has agreed to let us host that there on the 3rd of December. And I feel a few little cocktails maybe on the card. So it's just been... it's frantic at the moment. I do wake up quite early a lot of mornings and wonder what the heck's going on. But it's just been lovely to it's lovely to give it the fuss it deserves, I think, because
it is a big thing. I think people don't, unless you've actually gone through that journey yourself and had that book, because as you both know, a lot of time and effort goes into writing, and you pour your soul into it, and then you've got the book. And then it's all like, whoa, now what type thing? Since my launch party with A Balancing Kind of Love, I've not really done anything yet because I've just been thrown into another thing. But I know I'm going to start building up momentum and marketing and getting back out there and say, let the world know about it. But then
I think the marketing's hard.
The writing was the lovely part. But I'm not going to put you off because everyone goes through it. Everyone has written a book that has to sort of market themselves.
It's harder than writing it, isn't it?
Yeah.
I think it's much harder. It's not that, writing's my bag. Marketing is something that I have to work a lot harder at than I do writing, and it's very time consuming. I mean, writing's time consuming, but I see that as a bit of a guilty pleasure. I think if you're a writer, it's almost like reading, isn't it? It's really enjoyable. So it's been quite a steep learning curve, and I've said to all of the I met with Jackie today, and we just finished the last edits on her book, which is amazing. And I said, you really should be proud of yourself, because not lots of people say, oh, I'd love to do that, but don't do it. So the fact that you've done it, and we've all done it together, and we're all coming out, when I but it's just lovely that they're all coming together at the same time. I just think it's oh yes, Jackie said, I think we need to find the joy in the process of marketing. Good luck with that, Jax. Let me know.
Maybe Jackie can go first and let us know.
No, to be fair though, I know I'm saying it's like hard work and everything, but for me, the marketing has opened up a big world for me of connecting with people that I wouldn't have connected with if I'd got a marketing agency to sort of do my books for me. I wouldn't have met Karen. I wouldn't have met you, Fiona. I wouldn't have gone down that road of sort of reaching out and networking and whatnot. And my life is richer from the moment I published my first book. My life is a lot richer because, I'm meeting so many interesting people along the way. So that is a positive angle.
That is. Jackie's just said reframe it, so see it as a point. But you're absolutely right, Joanna. I mean, as much as I see it as a bit of a, oh God, I've got to do this now, but you're right. We would never have connected without marketing, would we? Or networking. And we've met some. We've met some amazing people. Look at the lovely Fiona Miles. I mean, what an inspiration she is.
Yeah.
Jackie said, put it in a multicoloured, sparkly frame. This is Jackie. She's all sparkles, rather than being Kevin about it, if you know what I mean. And we had a bit of a laugh today when I said to Jackie, when people say to me, you've got to do marketing, I go a bit, like Kevin and Perry. So I'm going to be less of a Kevin and more sparkly. So that's wise advice.
Tinkerbell.
Yes, I'll be Tinkerbell instead of Sugar Plum Fairy. But so Fiona, do you want to tell people what you do in your day? This always reminds me of Hong Kong Fooey. By day, mild-mannered janitor. By night,
I just write children's books, don't I?
Yes, all you do. Just sit around, just writing a few kids' books. How hard can it be? Yeah.
No, I do skin rejuvenation and semi-permanent makeup. So making people look beautiful and feel comfortable in their own skins, really.
But there's quite an inspiring story behind why you do that, Fiona, though. Don't hide your light under a bushel. Come on.
Oh, my TV's shouting at me.
Oh,
can you hear it?
Yeah, got a poltergeist in the house.
It's called my husband. He wasn't in the room either. So spooky. I had breast cancer 15, 16 years ago. And I've come from 25, 26 years in financial services. And I just decided I didn't really want to do that anymore. I didn't like it. So I wanted to help people feel better about themselves after chemotherapy or an illness or due to age, whatever, when we lose our eyebrows and get a little bit wrinkly and dry skin and sore patches.
Menopause.
Exactly. Especially with menopausal skin. It's just the products I use are amazing. That's sort of, I started with microblading because that's the easiest place to start. But then I've sort of found my passion in like powder brows and stuff like that, and the skin rejuvenation as well, because it gives such good results. It's amazing. Yeah, it's just lovely.
The microneedling, you did the microneedling for me. My Lord, I was glowing. Honestly, Joanna, I really felt glowing, and I'm I'm usually pretty hard to please because I think, I want to come out and look 25 years younger, and I'm quite realistic when I don't. It's not really in my remit, but I felt great after that. I thought that was really brilliant. And you do nipple tattooing as well, don't you?
I do. I'm trying to do it. I'm going to need to actually do it.
Yeah.
My nerves have sort of held me back, but I will be doing it this year.
Well, you do. Your work's fabulous, and
Yeah.
what a lovely. Because I know. Well, you say it's not vanity, it's normality, isn't it?
Yeah.
You might think that losing your hair is the least of your problems if you're poorly, but I spoke to one cancer survivor in particular, and she said the worst thing about that was that she was terrified of losing her hair because I didn't want to be reminded of it all the time. I didn't want people to look at me differently. I didn't want it to be the main thing that you saw. And I think, when you feel good, I know obviously it's much more important what's happening on the inside, but if you feel good on the outside, it really affects your mental health, doesn't it?
Yeah,
And then,
absolutely.
yeah, and if you've got good mental health, you can fight illness a lot better than if you haven't
Even
you?
if you just have a facial or something, you feel so much better in yourself.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, the ladies that call and say they've got their chemo starting in a week's time, to get their brows on before they lose them is really good.
Yeah, yeah, and it's quite shocking, isn't it? You've got a lot of changes happening in your body and that. So, yeah, I think that's what a lovely thing. And you do spend some of your time dressed as a giant booby, don't you?
I did do that, yeah. Only for a weekend, unfortunately. I've still got it though.
You can't be a giant boob all the time.
Yeah, because unfortunately, social media, their algorithms only can see, because the work is so realistic. The algorithms feel that they pick it up as nudity, and then they remove it or they block account, and that means that we can't get to the ladies that actually need us. So we did a big protest, and unfortunately, I couldn't go up on the day, but I did do some booby footage in my inflatable balloon on a bounce castle, as you do.
Why not? And that's the thing, there's still a lot of stigma, like you think about breastfeeding, you think about, breast surgery because of cancer. It's like, it's a boob, we can't possibly show it on the internet. And really, how ridiculous. It's a bit of your body like any other bit. There's worse things on the internet.
And they show lots worse, worse stuff. But because they are so realistic, so yeah, I will be looking for some ladies who need it done, because I can do it on latex, and I've been doing using the machines for 3 years, so I know exactly what I'm doing.
You're a very conscientious person, and you do practice, don't you? Practice.
Oh God,
yeah,
all the time.
Yeah. And Fraser says you're too modest, Fee. You're amazing. We know she's amazing, Fraser. She doesn't blow her own trumpet often enough. But I think what a lovely thing.
The lovely Linda, she was with me when I got my diagnosis, and she was with me and saw my transition. She saw all my hair go and my eyebrows and fingernails and everything.
Oh, fingernails as well, really?
Yeah, fingernails, toenails.
Oh, goodness me.
Eyebrows,
don't think about
eyelashes.
That, do you?
No, I look like a little baby pig, I think.
Oh, bless you. Do you know what? I think you looked rather stunning with that hair. You looked a lot more gorgeous than I would have looked with that hair. You looked very, but it's how you feel in yourself, doesn't it?
Yeah,
it's how you feel in yourself. You've
got
hair.
The guys I work with are brilliant. They sort of saw me through it all, because I worked all the way through it. So
they're
really supportive.
And what a lovely thing to be at, because you do love your job, don't you?
I do love my job now,
yeah.
I'm just passionate about it, and everyone, I like people to be happy, and when someone looks in the mirror afterwards, even if it's just for their skin or or semi-permanent makeup, it's just it gets me every time.
That's really nice. And it's so important, isn't it, to do well. Joanna's, she's been branching out and doing, we seem to get, is it a midlife crisis we're all having, because we get to a certain point and then we go, stop this, we're doing what we want to do.
I changed that when someone said that to me today about it being a midlife crisis. I can't remember what I said, but it was reframing it again, using that expression. But it was a midlife revelation.
Yes, exactly. Yes, I like that. Yeah,
because so many women that I'm connecting with are sort of changing their whole outlook on life and what they want to do and everything. But going back to breast cancer awareness, a couple of years ago, me and my friend went to Ireland to raise money, and every year they do a charity strip and dip.
This sounds amazing, Joanna.
It wasn't. I was more worried about the coldness of the scene and actually getting my kit off and jumping in. But we went down to this private beach, and they got in the Guinness Book of Records. And I know Australia were trying to actually top them, but I think it was the year we went, we got in the Guinness Book of Records. It might have even been the year before, and we stayed in the Guinness Book of Records. But it involved all these women, so many ladies that had gone through cancer of some sort, all standing naked on the beach with all their scars or I don't know, different patterns all over their bodies,
Mm.
where they've actually embraced what's gone on with themselves. Colostomy bags on display, everything, all standing there naked, and
Oh,
it was the
lovely.
most
Give me
overwhelming,
goosebumps. Give me
powerful
goosebumps.
thing. Oh, do you know what? It became. I went out there and I felt really shallow for a little while, because I thought, oh, I've come out here thinking I've got this body confidence issue going on, and I looked around and I thought, oh, get over it, Joe.
Yeah.
Just look at these women that I'm surrounded by.
Yeah.
And it was amazing. And I jumped in the sea for about, well, we had to stay in for 5 minutes, and bits of me went frozen that I didn't realise could freeze. And then I came back out. But yeah, so if we do it again, I shall be inviting others to come along too.
Oh, I kind of love
for it.
Yeah, no,
What a lovely way to celebrate survival and
I think
strength.
Jackie's in as well.
Yeah, Jackie
No,
will have a go at that. Jackie was.
Yes.
I can't guarantee I'll be in the sea for 5 minutes. I really don't do well
You
with
will
the
if we've
cold.
got hold of you.
Yeah, no, but you will. I mean, it's like when we first walked down to the beach, we was all nervous about taking our clothes off and standing
Yeah.
there. I mean, it's all. I'm not sure what's happening now, because I think they've sold the beach, so they're looking at getting it somewhere else. And I think the choir that sing with them was on one of the X Factors or something. I think they were called the Sea of Change or someone.
Yes, that rings a bell. Yeah.
And you stand on the beach and you feel out of place if you've got your dressing gown on still.
Yeah.
And then once you're all together, you jump in the sea, come back out. And then my friend that was with me at the time, who'd been really nervous about stripping off, she walked back up to the car, stood there with her phone, all naked still. And I went, oh, you're going to put some clothes back on now? She was so relaxed.
Felt liberated.
Yeah. And then we had a big party afterwards.
Oh, amazing.
Amazing. Yeah, it really is. So, and I was going to do it again last year, but
things transpired against us. Yeah.
What time of year was it, Joanna?
Oh, a cold time. No, I think I'll have to look back, but it may have been about June time.
Yeah, maybe not that cold.
I'll put it all over my social media at some point.
In this country, that's never that warm, is it?
No.
I'd be in the Guinness Book of.
Isn't it?
Oh, crikey, yeah. I'd be in the Guinness Book of Records for the person who turned the deepest shade of blue, I think.
Yeah.
Well, how lovely is that? That's just what a
Really
beautiful, beautiful celebration. Jackie's in, so we she's got sent us another little emoji. She's in, so we'll hold her to that. We've got it in writing, Jack, so you can't.
I know someone's got a beach in Sheerness. Perhaps we could go there.
Well, someone said to me, you should try and get it in sort of like in the UK, because it's so big in. It's something we could arrange ourselves. So if you had like a private beach that you could access and block off. There was one security guard, one male security guard that looked after the car, and he was smiling.
I didn't bank on this when I came to work today.
Yeah.
You know what would be lovely is to do it simultaneously the world over. You know, like a live stream. So you had people in the UK, people in Australia, people in France, people in Germany, people in Italy. You know, like if you know had it in Italy, how brilliant would that be?
Yeah.
Well, I wouldn't choose the one in Australia in the dark or something, because wherever there's going to be some sharks swimming.
Yeah, I'll do the UK one.
That's America, but no, it's really good. There was lots of photographic opportunities, because they did go around and you could sort of lay in the sea and have your photograph taken, and there was lots of aerial shots, but there wasn't really any. It was really tastefully done. It was lovely.
It's lovely, and you should, you know, be proud, and to the courage it takes for people to get through something like that is just to be celebrated, isn't it? I think that's lovely. So do you think, Fiona, so with you're dressing as giant boobies and helping people with eyebrows and that kind of thing, so you were in financial services, weren't you, before? So that's quite a jump, isn't it? But do you think you perhaps were always a creative person struggling to get out, maybe?
I've never thought of myself as creative. No, I can't.
Well, you must be a bit, though. Yeah, you've written a book. And what you do is very artistic, isn't it? It's not, you know, it's a form of art, isn't it? It's quite.
Yeah, just don't ask me to draw a tattoo or anything, because it wouldn't look like what you wanted.
Maybe draw an eyebrow or a boobie.
Do an eyebrow or a nipple, and that's about it.
On a body
maybe a pair of lips now.
Yeah. But yeah, you must be. But I mean, you know, art comes in a million different forms, doesn't it? So there must be that creative streak within you.
I've got an eye for detail, definitely. I'm very precise in what I do. Yeah. So.
But you're not a drawer, as in an artist like that. No, I'm not. Are you, Joanna?
I'm a photographer. I see it rather than I can't draw. My daughter's an artist with painting. Yeah, my mother-in-law is. I'm surrounded by artists, but
really,
I myself, I can see a photograph and take it. I can see it in my mind. So but yeah, I think I'm a little bit of the accountant comes into it with my photography.
Well, it's about proportion, isn't it? And kind of, you know, making sure that the shot is what's the word? You know, positioned correctly and
composed.
That's it. The composition.
It's with photography and writing, they do go hand in hand a little bit, because you do create a story with a photograph. So it's putting the two together. You can't just, I mean, I know you can point and shoot and you might take a fantastic photograph, but if you're setting up a scene, you do have to tell that little bit of a story.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, I'm a bit of a point and shoot and hope for the best type of photographer. But and sometimes I get lucky.
My photographs of my clients are just dreadful. That's why
they're not that bad, Fiona. You're being a bit hard on yourself.
I just post a photo of the lips or of the eyebrows, because I can't make people look like they look.
Although I would say, in your defence, when you did my eyebrows for me, when you're laying down, particularly ladies of a certain age, things tend to move, don't they? Nothing stays in the place where it's when you're upright. You lay down, things sort of start to shift. So when I looked at you, taking a photograph of me, I thought, oh, it doesn't look like me. But I think because my face was at a funny angle, so I think it's quite hard to take pictures of people laying down. And
you look really glamorous in yours. I saw your photo earlier. It popped up on my timeline.
Oh, did I? Oh, goodness
you look lovely.
Must have been a good
strong bit of your whole face in your one. It wasn't just your eyebrows.
Yeah.
You look lovely. So.
Oh, well, thank you. There's good lighting, clearly. It's nothing a bit of lighting.
It's just your eyebrows that I post. You know that the photos don't come out very well.
Yeah, I'm just putting this little bit of this person.
Yeah. I haven't done their eyebrows.
That's the end of a nose. Oh, bless you. So Fiona, so you've written this book, which is great. It's really fun. What sort of age group are we thinking? We're thinking sort of like, I don't know.
Yeah, I think, well, from when you're reading it to them as a small child before they can read, and then up to probably about six or seven,
sort of 3 to 7 maybe, kind of thing, isn't it?
Yeah, it's kind of along sort of Julia Donaldson sort of age, maybe.
Yeah, I would agree with that. And you know, I mean, I must admit, when I wrote my first book, I don't know if Jana will say the same. I fell into writing like literally by accident. My husband said about a title of a book. That sounds like, you know, we were chatting, said, oh, that sounds like a great title for a book. And I said, yeah, I think I might write that. And he said, well, you should. And I did. And it was really unexpected. It sort of, I don't know, I just fell into it. And then thought, oh, I love this. And then when I actually managed, after all the trials and tribulations and the thousands of pounds that I spent with crooked publishers and all the rest of it, once it finally got done, I felt so proud of myself. I was really like, I couldn't quite believe I'd done it, because I never thought I would be a published author. I saw these people as people who sit on, you know, pedestals and that. And then I just wanted to do it more. So do you think you're going to do it more?
Definitely. Yeah.
Are you?
Another one.
Oh, that's wonderful. Yeah. Oh, okay. That's really nice to hear. What about you, Joanna? I mean, how did you feel when did you always know you were going to be an author, or did you?
I had a few years prior to actually writing, I put it on my vision board that I want to write books, but it was never going to be a romance story or anything like that. And it was at the beginning of lockdown, when I started journaling, that it released the sort of like the author in me, because I literally swapped my pen and paper for a laptop. And I think because, like, with the 4 kids and everything, over the years, I've always had like a girls' holiday. I've always been able to sort of not escape, because that's not the right word, but just go and have some me time. And think about things just for me. Normally with a cocktail and
absolutely, that's when the best thinking happens. So
I think when I remember telling my friend, it was actually on the 4th of July, I actually said to her, I'm going to write a book. And I said, I'm just writing it for me, really, because I want to see where it goes. And the more I wrote it, and when I got people to come round to my house when we were in lockdown, but allowed in the garden, we'd have drinks and I'd bring my characters to life and say, this is so-and-so and this is so-and-so. And I was absolutely, I knew when I started writing in July that it was going to be a trilogy with all the characters that I wanted to bring into it. And that was it. And then I realised that it's something that I really want to do. It's something that I'm choosing to do rather than falling into a job. And there's so much more in me, and it's natural. It comes naturally.
Yeah.
And that's the big difference. I'm not forcing it.
No.
You know, even like cleaning the bathroom, I've got a chapter written in my head, or and now book 3 isn't, I was going to write and get book 3 out by Christmas, and that's not going to happen at all.
No.
But I'm not worried because book 3 is already weaving itself together in my mind. I just sometimes have to make little notes to, you know, what it's going to be about and who I'm bringing into it. And you know, and romance is, I would say, it's got a structure to it, isn't it?
Yeah.
Or falls in love, or you know, couples fall in love and whatnot, and things go on, and that's it, type thing.
Yeah, it's wonderful. I think the stories do find you, like as you know, like you said, oh, I didn't think I'd write romance, but then you start writing, and the story almost comes and finds you, doesn't it? And when I was speaking to Jackie today, I said, I see stories in everything. I can't go anywhere. You know, like if I go to Aldi, if I go to, you know, whatever I'm doing, I get flashes of stories, or something will happen. I think, God, that's brilliant. And the irony is, at the moment, I haven't got any time to write at all, which is I feel a bit like, I need to write something, but I haven't got the time at the moment. I need to prioritize other stuff. Well, I've got a book coming out next week, so I have done one, but I feel like I need to do another. That was a children's book. I feel like I need to do another chicklet, because I love doing that. But yeah, I can't help myself. You know, like I'm already crafting the stories in my head, and they're sort of, and I think we talked about this a lot, Fiona, didn't we, in the group? You know, if you get a bit of writer's block, or you're not sure, just take a break, walk away, wander around, walk the dog, have a coffee, and all the while that story will sort of be churning around in your subconscious, even if you don't think it is, and the story will come, I think.
Yeah, I need to keep a little notebook with me, because I thought of something earlier and thought, oh, that's really good. I can't remember it now.
Oh, I'm a nightmare for that.
No recollection at all.
Yeah.
Do you think it'd be a series?
Yeah,
because
I think so.
You started off with Croc, sort of like, as you say, not 2 months.
Yeah, then, roughly. Yeah.
So, oh, it could definitely be.
Yeah, it's got lots of travels to have.
Yeah.
Lots of adventures.
One author that I know, she's writing the books, children's books based on a couple of dogs, and she's got all these little stickers made with the drawings of them and everything. So it is, isn't it? It's a brand, isn't it?
It's great. It's great. And and there's lots of potential for adventures for Croc, isn't there? I mean, it's just screaming out for him to go and have adventures. I think that's but how lovely. I just feel so proud that you've all done it. And despite the fact, oh, there comes Mabel, star of Mabel and Stanley Publishing. She's just come to steal a slipper and walk around on my nicely shampooed carpet and make a mess, no doubt.
You help do it.
Yeah, she's so helpful. Not at all. She's an absolute pain, bless her heart. I think it is, you know, you really did all knuckle down, and that's the thing with it as well. Once you start, and once you get to a certain point, you can't possibly give up. You've got to see it through, because you'd just be kicking yourself forever, wouldn't you, if you didn't see it through to the end. So
I just keep thinking of the other ladies that are doing their novels and think, well, I've got to get mine done.
It's accountability within a group, doesn't it? It does really. If you've got, I mean, I never joined a group, or I went pretty much on my own to start, and I'm accountable for other things at the moment, which are on my other creative hats that I'm trying to get off the ground. But if you've got someone sort of resting on your shoulder saying you've got to do this, you've got to do that, then it does help, I think.
You're right, Karen.
Excuse me. I breathed in funny and then had a massive coughing fit.
So,
Should have had that
Oh,
gin.
excuse me. I'll just die quietly in the corner.
is there a story? I mean, I know it's a story because is there a message in your book?
It's about inclusion and friendship, really, and kindness. So
Yeah,
where it can take
definitely.
you.
Definitely.
Yeah.
It's very appropriate. I love a story with a moral for children.
Oh, bless you, Karen.
My voice is completely gone. That's a blessing for everybody concerned.
Not very good for podcast, though.
No. So yeah, people listening on the podcast. I'm sorry, there was a slight technical hitch where the podcaster almost choked, but she's back in the room now. So there's definitely a moral to Fiona's story, and I love a children's book with a moral. I think they're much more powerful when there is a message, isn't there?
Yeah, absolutely. And yes, Linda, the group was really inspiring, really helpful, very, very supportive. And I think we're all friends now, aren't we?
Oh,
Really?
it's been a really beautiful thing to come out of lockdown. Excuse me.
Karen, when's your next starting point for your next intake of author?
Well, I'm changing it a little bit. What I'm doing is I've got a group, a VIP members group on Facebook, which you can join for a very low cost. It's £10 a month. It's like 2 cups of coffee. But the idea of that is that's a dip your toe in, start to see how it goes, find your writing feet, find where you want to go. I do monthly webinars in there, and I do monthly Q&A sessions, so you can ask your questions. I put prompts in there, so it's a very gentle ease in. And then I've got specific programs that I run sort of 2 or 3 times a year. So if you then want to jump into a more intensive program, then you can do it that way. Or if you want some one-to-one sessions, you can do that way, and you can do those ad hoc to fit your agenda, really. But the idea was that the group, I can do the group for many people, but the programs, we all agreed in the academy that actually they're much better when it's a small group. Because you can, if you're thinking, right, the Facebook group is great because it can get you started and you can get underway and you can get advice and you can answer questions and all of the rest of it. But if you're thinking, right, I really need sort of guidance from start to finish, I want this book published in 6 months' time and that's it, then that can be done. But the pace is a bit different. Joanna, you've got to set a writing timetable. You've got to set yourself targets. There'll be little sort of nuggets of learning that you'll need, like characterization and setting and plot and all that kind of thing. And that works best in a small group because you have to really knuckle down. And I don't think I could give as good if there were 5 of us in the group, and that was great. I think if I'd have had more ladies than that, or men, or whoever joined, I wouldn't have been able to give them enough support because it's time consuming, isn't it? Let's face it. There's a lot to discuss and there's lots to talk through and there's lots to question and explore and investigate. So so it's the same. The academy is the same, but the idea is that you come into the Facebook group. It's a very low investment, so you're not, it's not a financial burden. I don't want it to be a financial burden for anybody. I want it to be something that's pleasurable. I want it to be a guilty pleasure. I want something that's fulfilling, so you can start without putting yourself under pressure financially or emotionally. And then if you want to take your journey further, or if you're happy in that group and that's working for you, that's great. But then if you want a bespoke program, then you can do that. And we thought that was the best way for people to get the most out of it. And Fraser says, sounds like a really inspiring group. I have to say, Fraser, it really was an inspiring group. We've got the beautiful Fiona, who we all know is amazing and does wonderful things. We've got Jackie, who's a very quite a spiritual person. I would hope she wouldn't mind me saying that. We call her woo-woo sometimes, but we mean it in the kindest way. But she's quite a spiritual person. So she brings an element to the group that on almost another level. We've got Bev, who's really funny, and she's writing a chapter book about her dogs, and she brings a lot of humour to the group. We've got the lovely Jane, who's over in Dublin. Her book's about friendship and relationships through COVID and how camaraderie and community. And then we've got the fabulous Sandra, who's a physiotherapist, and she does stress and anxiety therapy as well. So she's writing non-fiction. So we've had some really great people in the group, but it's a bit like tapas. They've all brought something wonderful to the table. So that's been really inspirational. Jackie says, yes, we're still going. Yeah, we're still going. We haven't quit yet. We can't quit yet. We've got 5 books to publish, so we can't give up now. We can't fall at the last hurdle. But yes, Jackie's right there. It is a really great range, and that's been. But then I'm of the mind, and some people may or may not, but the writing process is the same no matter what you're writing. Obviously you adjust your tone and your your vocabulary, etc., but actually constructing your book, there's a beginning, middle and end to every book, isn't there? There's still a planning process. So I think we've all got something from each other because we're all so different. So we've been quite objective, haven't we, really? And it's been really nice to take each other out of our sort of comfort zones. It's been a great group. So it's just been a pleasure the whole way through.
Yeah,
really.
no, it's been great fun, and you've really guided us all, Karen. So.
Oh, thank you. Well,
great.
I feel like we've guided each other.
Yeah, you've learned a lot, haven't you?
Yeah, I've learned a lot about stress management. No, it's been really, really inspirational. So long may it continue. So if any of you out there are thinking you'd like to write a book, if you're thinking you've got a book in you but you don't know where to start, but you haven't quite got the confidence, then don't be shy. Come and join us, and we will guide you through. And all my lovely ladies who are coming to publication, they're in the VIP group. So you've got writers in there who've been there, seen it, done it now, and they can tell you about their journey from a sort of a new writer's point of view, which I think is really lovely, and a great way to support each other. And yeah, just do it. What's the worst that can happen? Once you start, well, Joanna will agree with me on this. Once you start, you can't stop. They're like Pringles. Once you pop, you can't stop. So if you think you might like to write a book, then I'm always happy to answer questions and help out. So it's been lovely speaking to you tonight, gorgeous Fiona, and lovely Joanna. Thank you so much for joining and being part of. Oh, and Fraser. Oh, Linda. Is it Linda? Linda's interest. Well, yes, yeah. We need to have a chat then, Linda. Come and chat to me and tell me what you want to write about, and I shall guide you. And don't they say when you get to old age, you only regret the things you didn't do. So give it a try, because Fiona only joined for a chat. Now look where she is. She only came for a little chin wag and a glass of wine. Then I made her write a book
where I could dip out, but it didn't happen.
No. Once the beady eyes are on you, that's it.
Yeah, I couldn't escape. I think I'm stuck with you now, aren't I?
You are. Yeah. I am. Once you got me further. So Jackie sent us. Easy for me to say. I don't know what's going on with my voice tonight. She sent us lots of lovely hearts to send us big love. So that's wonderful for the gorgeous Jackie. So it's been wonderful to chat to you all. Thank you so much for joining us. I hope you've been inspired to start your journey, and I hope you'll join us again next week. I believe it's the lovely Sandra next week. So she'll be talking about her body-mind solutions. So she'll be talking about physiotherapy, she'll be talking about anxiety and stress management, and lots of mind and body stuff. I'm quite looking forward to that. She's a real she's another very inspirational person. So you're very welcome, Fraser. Thank you so much,
Linda,
for joining us. And Linda, and the lovely Linda. Linda's in brackets. I hope she's not metaphorically, she's in brackets next to Fraser. So thank you, Linda, for being there with Fraser. It's been lovely to welcome you all. And thanks, Joanna, for giving up your time, even though you're on the water, rehydrating and focusing. She's got willpower, that Joanna. Yeah, she has. So thanks for joining us. We'll see you all again soon. Have a wonderful week. Take care of yourselves, and look out for Fiona's book, Croc Tales, published by Mabel and Stanley Publishing. And if you are in the Rochester vicinity on Saturday the 27th of November, come down and you can meet Fiona. You can buy a copy of her book, and she'll even sign it for you. There you go.
Might do.
Yeah, you got to. There's no choice, Fiona. You have to sign it. And Jackie
we're doing crafting as well, aren't we?
Yeah,
we're doing making. So if Linda's coming down, we're making crocodile things and dog
Oh
things.
yes, and dog things. So we've got some activities for the kids
Yeah.
going on. So that would be really nice. As long as, like, the bookshop said it was fine as long as we didn't use too much glitter. So I promised them faithfully we wouldn't use too much glitter because
I'll bring the glitter. I'll
Yeah.
try and dig it out now.
yeah. And Jackie said she's looking forward to seeing Croc, so you need to dig him out,
Oh,
Fiona.
I've got to find him. I don't know where he was. I went to where he hides and he wasn't there.
Sneaky
So,
little devil. He's a sneaky little devil.
I think my little princess may have hidden him somewhere. So
She might have done. She might have done. So we'll see you all again soon. Thank you so much for joining us. I've been Karen Stanley, and thank you for listening.